All right, let's talk about something we all do: overthinking. We're going to dive into the science behind it and, more importantly, give you a super simple 3-minute reset to help you break that cycle for good. You know the feeling, right? It's 3 in the morning and you're replaying some random conversation from last week for the, I don't know, 47th time. Or maybe you just spent 20 minutes writing, deleting, and rewriting the same simple text message. You're just stuck, and you know it. And here's the thing you've got to understand. This is so important. This isn't a flaw in your personality. You're not just a worrier. It's a neurological trap. And let's be honest, overthinking doesn't solve a single problem. In fact, it usually just creates new ones. We've all done it. You tell yourself, just stop thinking about it. But that's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It only makes the fire bigger. You don't need more force. You need a totally different strategy. You need a neurological reset. Okay, so if we're going to beat this thing, we have to understand it first, right? Why exactly does your brain get so hopelessly stuck in these destructive loops? Well, let me introduce you to the culprit, the default mode network, or DMN. Think of it as your brain's neural treadmill. Whenever you're not focused on something specific, this is where your brain hangs out, just running in place, replaying old regrets and worrying about the future. It thinks it's helping you prepare, but really, you're going nowhere. And get this, the cost is huge. Research actually shows that when you're caught in one of these thought loops, what they call rumination, your brain's ability to solve problems drops by a whopping 40%. So the more you overthink a problem, the less capable you actually become of solving it. Crazy, right? So the big takeaway here is simple. You cannot use the same anxious brain that created the problem to solve the problem. You're just stuck on the wrong channel. The answer isn't to think harder, it's to change the channel entirely. So how do we do that? How do we change the channel? Well, I'm going to walk you through the protocol clinical psychologists use. It's a simple, actionable, 3-minute reset that you can use the second you feel that loop starting to spin up. Okay, here's the game plan. We're going to break it down into 3 1-minute steps. First, we'll create some distance from the thought. Second, we're going to ground ourselves in the present moment. And third, we're going to take some immediate, imperfect action. All right, minute 1. This is all about metacognition, which is just a fancy way of saying thinking about your thinking. So instead of thinking, I messed up, you're going to say out loud, I am having the thought that I messed up. This tiny change in words is a game changer. It creates space. It separates you, the person, from the thought itself. You are not your thoughts. And listen, this is not some self-help fluff, okay? There's real science here. Neuroscience shows that the simple act of labeling your feelings can reduce activity in your amygdala, that's your brain's fear center, by half. Just by naming the loop, you are literally calming your brain down. Next up, for minute 2, you're going to pull your brain out of the abstract world of worry and slam it right back into your physical body. You're going to say out loud 5 things you can see right now, 4 things you can physically touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This literally forces your brain to change channels from worrying to sensing. It's a hard reset. And for the final minute, you fight back with the secret weapon, action. Look, most overthinking is just procrastination wearing a trench coat, pretending to be preparation. So ask yourself this question, and then, and this is key, set a timer for 5 minutes and just do that one small thing. The goal isn't perfection. It's just to get the ball rolling. Action is the enemy of overthinking. Now, for those of you who feel like you're a professional overthinker, here's a more advanced technique to really help you take back control of your mind. It sounds kind of weird, but it's called stimulus control. Instead of trying not to worry, you do the opposite. You schedule it. You give yourself a 15-minute worry appointment every single day. Let's say 4 p.m. If a worry pops into your head at 10 a.m., you just tell it, nope, not your time. I'll deal with you at 4. Over time, this literally trains your brain to contain the chaos to that one small window. Okay, so we've got the tactics, but underneath all of this, there's one last powerful mindset shift you need to make. It's all about reframing what overthinking actually is. We love to tell ourselves that overthinking is a sign that we're smart or careful or thoughtful. But let's be real about what it is. It's a safety behavior. It's your brain trying to control an uncontrollable future because it's terrified of judgment or shame or failure. It's procrastination. And this brings us back to that timeless wisdom from Voltaire. You know, the most mentally tough people out there, they live by a simple rule. If something is worth doing, it's worth doing badly at first. Send the imperfect email. Have the slightly awkward conversation. Just take the messy first step. Because here it is. This is the big secret that is going to set you free. That fear of judgment that's driving all this overthinking, it's all based on a lie. The truth is, nobody is thinking about you that much. Why? Because they're all stuck inside their own heads, overthinking about themselves. So at the end of the day, the loop stops when you finally decide that your own peace of mind is more important than analyzing a problem to death. You have the tools now. The only real question left is, what imperfect action are you going to take right now to go get that peace back?